My previous presentation was quite theoretical one. That was almost pure words. But at this moment, I will bring you now and let us take a look into the virtual campus. We have to understand that we must have this master plan. Just like constructing our physical university or college campus, we have to have a master plan in the way we will approach the construction of our virtual campus. In this master plan, we have to capitalize on the aesthetics in our learning environment. We have to design our virtual learning space with usability. We have to construct our learning environment space. We have to design virtual learning space with mystery. We have to make sure that our virtual campus will provide ease of use for our learners, our visitors, and our educators. We have to provide familiarity. We have to make sure that when our personnel, our instructors or educators, our students or our learners, even our stakeholders will come into our virtual campus, they will have a very familiar feel every time they come into our virtual campus. We have to provide efficiency and complexity. And above all, we have to make sure that at the end of the day, that at the end of their interaction or visit in our virtual campus, these people will have satisfaction. This I would like to share with you. I have been an online student for almost 5 years now. The first day I enrolled into this full online institute, I can easily browse through the interface. Why? Because they have provided certain centers, virtual centers. They have provided virtual buildings. And that is something that is very appealing, especially to me who is a visual person. This virtual campus has provided the virtual version of the brick and mortar campus. And if we are to do this, this is a way to kickstart our virtual campus, where we will package, where we will launch our virtual classes, where we will launch our learning management system, where our students, our educators, and our other stakeholders will come into this campus. After all, with this new normal, not all of us has the opportunity or will be allowed to enter into the physical campus. That is why we have to understand that we must construct this virtual campus for everybody. We have to understand that as early as now, we are in the process of constructing this virtual campus. For us in Caraga State University, we have done few steps ahead. We have done activities ahead. By the time we encounter the challenge of the pandemic, we make every possible efforts that we can think of. Our administrators and even our faculty is trying to understand and trying to think and trying to find ways how we could adapt into this new normal. As for our learning management system, I am taking you now into the interface of our learning management system. In this interface, I logged in as a student. And as you can see, this is very simple interface. At the left side of my interface, you can see the panel which give me the idea of my activities, my files, and of course, the most important one as a student are my courses. As of the moment, all of us, all faculty in our university are students into this subject, flexible teaching learning, of which I am also one of the instructors. But I myself is a student also, because some of my colleagues are also giving lessons in this particular course. So we prioritize our faculty. We prioritize the equipping of our educators into preparing them to deliver their contents into our virtual learning management system. As you can see, if you are a student, you can see which college your program is being offered. So that is to provide ease of use to our students, most especially. For familiarity, this is something that is connected with our branding. This is something that we have to consider. What is our presence, or how are we projecting ourselves as an institution to the general public? There must be a common theme for all virtual classrooms. For physical classrooms, I think none of us has a very cluttered arrangements or a very varied themes of our classrooms. For our university, our Board of Regents has this desire that all our buildings will have a common theme, even if we have variations in designs, but at the least, the themes is similar. So with that concept of familiarity, with that understanding of visual brand, we are trying, and as of the moment, we are in the process of constructing our virtual classroom, our classroom on desk. This is like a call center where our students could come in and could experience the virtual classroom creation. This is a place where our faculty could interact with our learners or our clients. And this is arranged and designed in a manner, each of these cubicles will have similar aesthetics, will have similar feel, and our learning management system and our recording system are going to be, will be configured in a manner that we will be projecting similar theme all throughout our content recordings. This we call our smart classroom. As to familiarity again, there must be a common theme in all of our learning resource creation. There must be a common packaging. I am not saying the same, but a common theme in the way we package our manuals, in the way we package our lecture materials, our presentations, and everything. We are trying to make a common theme. And how did we do it? We have this visual identity and branding guidebook in 2018. And in 2019, we have this visual identity branding manual. So in this manual and in this guidebook, we are trying to provide a reference to all of us, to remind those who forgot what is the visual brand of our university. I hope and I believe some of us, or maybe some of you, are ahead of my institution. But I would like to emphasize, for those who do not have the visual brand, I encourage you to have one, to develop one. Because this is something that is very useful, especially in this virtual campus or virtual learning environment that we are trying to work with. Without a visual brand, without an organized aesthetics for our institution, then we will be like making or producing our contents like national elections. We'll be posting different designs, we'll be posting different color themes, and we'll be posting and producing different styles. And that is not something helpful for our institution. We have to understand that aesthetics aids the overall learning process and environment. That's according to these references. Aesthetics enhances values. The perceived value of our product, especially our digital product, has impact and bearing to adult learners. We have to understand that the way we package our learning environment and the contents of our learning environment has a bearing or weight on the overall value of our product. And as you can see, companies are investing so much for the packaging alone. We have to understand that aesthetics increases motivation, especially now that the next generation, the Generation Z, maybe the next, are fan of visuals, are fan of aesthetics. So we have to adapt to that kind of attitude or characteristics of our learners. We have to understand and provide solid and structured overall aesthetics because it fosters intrinsic desire to learn even without external awards. That sense of belongingness, that sense of being part of the organization. If our organization or institution has this good visual packaging, then our learners will have this intrinsic feeling no matter what their performance in this institution. As long as they are in this institution, they are proud about the colors of the institution. Maybe some of you who are listening or watching now are part of the UP campus. You are proud Maroons. Maybe you are part of the Blue Eagles, the blue-blooded ones, the Green Archers. Those are important aspects of packaging our university, especially now in our virtual presence. And we have to understand this one. Maybe not all of us has this level of understanding about aesthetic, but we have to understand, we have to adapt, we have to promote our product. For our case, it has been the practice of our university to have or to package or to promote our respective colleges with different icons, different logo, different designs. But as we understand the importance of visual brand, we repackage the logo or the sales of our individual unit. Even if our unit or a single college will engage into our community, we are now into promoting the university also. Because every college has a logo that always brings the logo of the university. Yes, we still provide flexibility as to the colors of our colleges, but the overall presentation of our logo is coherent with the presentation of the logo of the university. These are few of the logo that we created and as we repackage the logo of our individual colleges. For efficiency and complexity, we have to understand that this will be determined by what kind or type of visual classroom and virtual classroom tools that we are going to use in our virtual classes. The classroom setting which make occupy interest and stimulate activity and interaction. If we are to design our virtual classroom or if we are going to subscribe to a virtual classroom application or site with very complex interfaces and functionality, this might have a drawback in our efficiency. On the learner side, part of our consideration in the design of our virtual campus and our learning management system is to consider how they are going to access our classes. Today, because of free data, most or majority of our students has access to Facebook Messenger. But this has limitations. Maybe some of our students, especially our graduate students, has experience using the Easy Class or the Google Classroom. But we have to consider, if we are going to integrate these platforms into our learning management system, in the overall management of our virtual campus and overall management of our learning management system, the challenge is how are we going to have a fully documented interaction of our students and our educators. On the creator side, this is another challenge. That is why in our case, in our university, as what I have shown you earlier, we prioritize training our educators. We were training them how to maximize PowerPoints, Snagit, and even we introduced Camtasia and other free to subscription softwares and applications where we are going to explore. Again, as of the moment, we have not decided yet which of these applications we are going to use as a whole. But again, I would like to encourage you, and you have to understand that as early as now, you have to consider training your content creators for whatever application you are eyeing to use for. On the producer side, this is the most challenging and the most tasking one because you have to scout. I understand, even in our university, there are only few of us who has this experience of producing contents. Especially to us, that we are not an art school, we are not a visual art school, we are not a film school. That is why, even if you are of the same situation with our university, you have to scout for local talents because of the restrictions of hiring one. You have to encourage people. And if you are one of a producer kind, you have to help your institution. You must understand, we must understand that it is very tasking to a person to produce, especially if we are going to produce video contents, audio contents, and animation contents. There are a lot of free or open source softwares we can use in the market, but the bottom line is we have to develop ourselves or our co-employees and to encourage our co-faculty, co-creators to produce good content. Maybe some of us did not think about where to record our video contents, where to attend conferences, where to position ourselves by the time we are to deliver our content. This particular figure is my home space where I record some of my engagements. But the question is this something that supports the visual brand of my university? No. How about this one? Maybe. And this one. I recorded this video presentation at home. And as you can see, at the bottom left of the screen, you can see my video frame. Does this support my university's visual brand? No. Even the color theme, this does not. That is why, again, we have to adapt and we have to accept aesthetic value of our contents. As of the moment, this recording that I am using, this is my personal virtual space. Our university has not yet decided to which and what kind of virtual space we will be using in our learning content recordings. But we are contemplating on choosing one. That is why I am using this one. And that is why all throughout my recordings, I am using the same virtual space. And this is to help my colleagues and to tell you the importance of creating, constructing our virtual space. This is the end of everything. This is the end of the matter. Satisfaction. Without satisfaction, then we are failing the next generation. If we cannot provide satisfaction to our stakeholders, our clients, our students, then we are failing as an academic institution. Again, the answer to this still awaits. What we can lay down on the tables are on how are we going to innovate and repackage our instructional materials. I understand that as educators, you have bulk amount of learning materials. But the challenge now is, how are you going to repackage your instructional materials? In my next talk, I will be talking about some tips on how are we going to repackage our learning materials. But at this point, I would like you to understand that you have to repackage your learning contents. In constructing the virtual learning space, we have to recreate the physical or traditional classroom into the virtual world. We have to recreate the feel and the presence of our physical learning environment. We have to recreate how we present our classrooms. We will have to recreate how we provide classrooms for our teachers or educators and our students. We have to invest on good machineries. We have to invest on good systems. From lighting system, to recording system, to content production system, talent training system, and above all, our digital marketing system. What is this all about? For our lighting system, this is the most important equipment in bringing your physical classroom into the digital dimension. Without proper lighting, without good lighting, you cannot bring or you cannot capture your physical content into the digital dimension. Poor lighting system will result to poor digital content delivery. Do you think if I did not use some artificial lighting, you can see me in considerably good physical appearance in your virtual dimension? I guess not. In your experiment or demonstrations, good if you will be using animations, but not all the time you will be delivering your content using digital or animations. There are times that you have to deliver your content by taking videos on your own. So you have to provide good lighting. You have to make good lighting and to have established a good lighting system. For recording system, the learning space is just like the outer space. In the absence of right medium, sound waves could not travel well. So you have to invest good or working recording system. For our case, we have decided to use lapel mics. Maybe it's up to you to explore if you are going to use boom mics, condenser mics, depending on your choice. But you have to invest good recording system. In the absence of good light sensors, the beauty of the rays could not be captured even if it travels across vacuum. My point is, you have to invest nice capturing devices. Due to limitations or budget constraints, you cannot, maybe as of the moment, you cannot buy expensive cinema cameras or standard SLR cameras. But I suggest you invest on good web cameras. For the content production system, yes, it is true. We do not have to reinvent the wheel, but that's for invention. If we do not wish to perish as educators or as an institution, innovating our content or finding ways how to innovate our content generation is a must. We do not have to rely on the pre-existing contents delivered from other universities, from other institutions, or from other individuals. Yes, there might be instances that we have to borrow some of those. But in the sense of contextualization, we must develop or innovate existing learning materials which caters also the culture of our local communities, the culture of our institution, the culture of our university, the culture of our own community. We have to have this talent training system. It is as if saying, this is our time to shine. For the few who wish to become a screen artist, congratulations, you are now a commissioned one. You are now going to express your screen artistry when you deliver your digital contents. But for those who do not wish to become an artist, you don't have the choice but to conquer glossophobia. Digital marketing system. This is the most important thing and the end of the matter. No matter how good your contents are, no matter how good your LMS are, no matter how good your faculty are, without good digital marketing strategy, your products will just be put into the shelves. Whether you like it or not, we are now competing with the rest of the world. We are not just competing with our neighbors. We are not just competing with our neighboring universities. We are not just competing with other HEIs in the country, but we are competing in the World Wide Web. The learners market has now become an international market. Our students are prospects of these big universities. However, this is also our opportunity to market our product to other countries. If we will not act soon, learners will be putting learnings into a shopping cart. It would just be like shopping in Lazada, Shopee, Alibaba, Amazon, and the like. As I said, we can never get the complete answer until we get there. We are facing a very long and not so certain journey ahead. If we cannot totally see what's on the other end of the bridge, at the least, we are crossing the bridge with confidence, vigilance, and skills. As iron sharpens iron, so shall we be sharpening with each other. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless us all. Have a pleasant day.